about that. Golden State, as I mentioned, down as many as 13 in the fourth. They win the game. Steph with 35 in 36 minutes. CC mentioned those old Celtics. Porzingis 25 and 5, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Al Horford, the 4 threes in the fourth quarter, as you mentioned, 4 overall, 14 points. Goes to the locker room in the third quarter of this game, banged up, comes back out, and was awesome. But the storyline really was Draymond Green's defense on Kawhi Leonard and his ride-or-die teammate, been there through it all, Steph Curry, and his head coach, Steve Kerr, had this to say about the unbelievable defense from one Draymond Green in this playing game last night.
Just a defensive savant when it comes to being in the right place at the right time, fully committing to what the job is. It's not a fun job. It's, like you're saying, offensively, you have your freedom. You can do whatever you want, make or miss shots, whatever. Defensively, you're at the mercy of somebody like a Kawhi Leonard who is going to make you work all night. And I think Draymond, he feeds off of those battles, those matchups.
Dre's defense, he's the best defender I've ever seen in my life. It's just insane what he does out there.
Steve Kerr saying Draymond Green is the best defender I've ever seen in my life. Just for context, Steve Kerr played on the Chicago Bulls with Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. He also played on the San Antonio Spurs with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. And you know what, CeCe Smalls? He may not be wrong. That's how great of a defensive player Draymond Green is. And I am glad. You're going to be surprised with this take today, one Chris Canty specifically. I want to praise defense today. Not offense, not quarterbacks, nothing. I'd like to sit here and say it's about time in basketball that we equate defense with offense, and that the defensive prowess of one Draymond Green has that kind of impact on a basketball game.
It's crazy that we're praising defense in a game where 247 points were scored.
Okay. It's a new world that we're living in the NBA.
But I will say this. Draymond Green, the back-to-back steals in the final minute of the fourth quarter were outstanding. Off the inbounds pass, that was crazy. But then he takes it up a notch, ripping Kawhi Leonard on the way up the floor, leads to 2 Steph Curry field goals. He was awesome. And not just defending, but also playing point forward and facilitating on the offensive end as well. But I don't think we can dismiss any of the efforts from all of the guys that we just mentioned, right? Because that win doesn't happen if Steph Curry doesn't drop 35 points. It doesn't happen if Kristaps Porzingis doesn't have a turn back the clock type of performance. And it doesn't happen without the big shots that Al Horford made in the fourth quarter. There was a stretch in the middle of the fourth quarter where Al Horford hit 3 straight threes. And then, of course, he hits the go-ahead shot with 2 minutes to go in the fourth.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The Golden State Warriors are alive. Last night, they came back from 13 points down in the fourth quarter to beat the LA Clippers 126-121. Steph Curry dropped 35 points in 36 minutes. Kristaps Porzingis had 25. Al Horford hit 4 threes in the fourth quarter, including the go-ahead shot with 2 minutes left. It was a vintage Warriors performance. But here is the thing. Nobody is talking about the offense. Everybody is talking about Draymond Green's defense on Kawhi Leonard. And Steve Kerr said something after the game that stopped me in my tracks. He said Draymond Green is the best defender he has ever seen in his life. Let me repeat that. Steve Kerr played with Dennis Rodman. He played with Michael Jordan. He played with Scottie Pippen. He played with David Robinson. He played with Tim Duncan. And he said Draymond is the best of all of them. Let me show you what the crew on ESPN had to say about this. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break this down because this is a massive statement. Steve Kerr has seen every great defender of the last 30 years up close. He practiced against them. He played with them. He won championships with them. And he said Draymond Green is the best. Not one of the best. The best. And the ESPN crew pointed out that Kerr is not talking about Bill Russell or Hakeem Olajuwon from old highlights. He is talking about who he has personally seen. And in that conversation, Draymond is at T. He top. Now, let's talk about what Draymond actually did last night. With the game on the line, he had back-to-back steals in the final minute. First, he picked off an inbound pass. Then, he ripped Kawhi Leonard on the way up the floor. That led to 2 easy buckets for Steph Curry. He was also playing point forward, facilitating the offense, making the right reads. He did everything. And Chris Canty made a great point. He said, "This is why Draymond is worth it." Remember all the conversations about his behavior? The suspensions? The drama? The questions about whether the Warriors should move on. This is why they kept him. Because when the lights are brightest, when the game is on the line, Draymond Green does things that no other defender in the league can do. He impacts the game defensively the way elite offensive players impact the game offensively. Now, let's talk about Kawhi Leonard. He is a great player. 2-time Finals MVP. One of the best two-way players of his generation. And Draymond locked him up. He made him work for every bucket. He stripped him. He frustrated him. And after the game, the crew started talking about the Clippers' future. And it is bleak. The Clippers do not have their draft pick. It goes to Oklahoma City. And it cannot be any worse than the 12th overall pick. The same pick the Thunder used to draft Jalen Williams. Sam Presti is going to add another lottery pick to an already loaded roster. And the Clippers have nothing to show for the Kawhi era. 3 playoff series wins. That is it. For a team that traded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a mountain of picks, that is a disaster. And then there is the investigation. Kawhi was asked about the allegations that he received funds to circumvent the salary cap. And his answer was interesting. He said, "We're going to be in the clear." Not, "I'm innocent." Not, "I didn't do anything wrong." We're going to be in the clear. That sounds like a guy who thinks he got away with it, not a guy who is innocent. The crew laughed about it. Chris Canty said, "If I say we're in the clear, that means I got away with it, not that I didn't do it." And that is the perfect summary. The Clippers mortgaged their future for Kawhi. They bent the rules to get him. And what do they have to show for it? Nothing. Not a single championship. Not even a finals appearance. Just a lot of regular season wins and a lot of playoff disappointment. Now, let's talk about the Warriors. They are moving on to face the Phoenix Suns for the final playoff spot. And if they get that, they face the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. That is a brutal draw. But if the Warriors get the same performance from Draymond, from Steph, from Porzingis, from Horford, they can make some noise. The crew said it best. This was an exhibition of championship DNA. The Warriors have been here before. They know how to win. They know how to close. And Draymond Green, for all his flaws, is the heart of that defense. I want to know what you think. Is Draymond the best defender Steve Kerr has ever seen? Or is Kerr just being loyal to his guy? And are the Clippers the biggest disappointment of the last decade? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.